Peace and blessings, family. We are back in the building. We were off for a couple of weeks, been doing a lot of work. But now we are back and we got a lot to talk about. How you doing, Sister Khadijah? You're looking beautiful and fabulous.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I am, and so are you. I am doing absolutely great. Like you said, we've been busy, moving and grooving, shucking and bucking, whatever you want to say it. But I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And we missed y'all, so good evening. And tonight is gonna be a little bit different because we're just gonna have a conversation. We're just gonna have a conversation with two sisters on a Sunday evening. Um, and just really unpack some things and just share some different observations and raise some questions and just get us to think a little bit and be a little bit more aware about certain dynamics in our families and in our communities and how we either contribute to it or we're unaware of it, um, or it's just the norm. So, Ro, you want to kind of delve into what we're going to talk about?
Yeah. I want to
Excuse
start
me, y'all.
off
I'm
with
trying to
this
get some.
picture. Uh, as we get into this conversation, I think it's important to have like maybe some visuals as we talk. We're going to talk a lot about families tonight. We're going to talk a lot about, and I really want y'all to dive in with us too. I'm an open book for the most part. I don't mind sharing how I think or feel about things, but we're going to talk tonight about relationships as it relates to Black people. I can't. Other groups may hear this and be like, I can relate to that. That's great. I'm not saying other groups don't do it. I'm just talking about the group to which I belong because there's some different things that have happened. And we're going to talk about relationships between husband and wives, mothers and fathers. We're going to talk about relationships between fathers and their daughters, fathers and their sons, fathers and
M-
different
mothers and their sons,
mothers and their sons, sisters
hmm
and brothers, daughters
mothers
and
and their daughters.
fathers,
Hmm
mothers and daughters, the whole shebang. And to be very honest with you, because I believe in being honest, a lot of this came as a result of some conversations we've been having, Khadijah, with different people around town.
hmm
Because we get invited to a lot
And
of stuff.
people that don't even know each other. Let's be clear on that. These
Yes.
are people that don't even intersect, and but some of the same things are becoming a consistent thing a consistent conversation about certain topics. And these people are in different tax brackets. They live in different neighborhoods.
Yep.
They have different cultural norms of what we may see to the naked eye. So we're not talking about a specific group of people or a family of people or a neighborhood of people or community of people. We're
Right.
talking about Black people.
Yeah, yeah. And this is also timely because we know that there's been, hopefully it's dying down. I wasn't really listening to it as much, but there's been a lot of things like black men against black women. And instead of us like really talking about like how we either are participating in these stereotypes that's creating these environments or the hey like that the what method are you using that you're not participating in it. So I
hmm
think these are like really timely conversations, and I like to start off with the root is as I as I am 52 years old, I think about when my mother was 52, and when my mother was 52, she was close to her deathbed. Like this would have been her last summer if she was living when she was
hmm
52, and by December before Christmas, my mother would have, or right the day after Christmas, she would have became an ancestor. So for me, I look at my mother as the example of how we do relationships and some of the things that we were taught as women, which is basically killing us.
hmm
Or some things get passed down, not because that's what my mother was trying to do, but I feel like there's some things I don't do because she put up with the things she did put up with. Like I don't want to do that. And so I feel like it's okay to love someone, love a lot of people, but don't understand why they did stuff or understand, damn, that was a hell of a sacrifice that person made because I wouldn't be able to do that as Rolanda Wilkins. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So when I look at my mother as it relates to my father, I thought my mother was extremely um, strong when I was younger. I thought she was like a little weak for putting up with my dad. But then I began to understand as I got older the sacrifices she was making to hold her family together. That's what I really began to understand as you get older. But when you're young, you was like, bump that fool. Like, he ain't nobody, you know. But my mother came from a different place. One of the areas I see my mother struggling, because you can jump at any time you want,
Hmm.
even when my dad moved us way across the country away from our family in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, because he had another woman out here and another child with the woman. Well, he didn't have that first. When we got out here, then he had a child with the woman. My mother put up with a lot of stuff, even when my dad brought the side chick baby to the house and tried to act like my mom should accept that child. And I thought to
Or
myself, this nigga is brazen.
even more brazen is when he had the side chick knock on her door to come sit down with my mom and see how they could be friends after she was sleeping with a whole married man and father of six. So that's very brazen on her behalf and his behalf. Because that take
I
a
agree.
lot of balls to be the side chick, the interrupter of someone's household. And I'm not blaming just her, because it takes two to
Oh, most
tangle.
definitely.
But to knock on someone's door as if you have a position or even on a level to speak to her, and you are a whole side chick. The audacity of this, I thought that was something, but these 2024 side chicks, my lord, they are some bold broads, bold broads.
Yeah, yeah. I just thought when I just when you get older, you just like wow. So my mom did not tell my dad take your baby back to where she's from. That can't do that, baby. I'm so sorry. And my mother wasn't mean or rude about it. You know what I mean?
She
But
was
I
just
just thought
honest.
like, where do men get this idea that any seed they drop, we're supposed to accept them as whole when you don't even know if the seed is really yours for one, and
Mhm.
two, what about the woman? Do she not get any luxury? Do she not get any like when men cheat, we act like that's a part of like them being men. But if women cheat, it's like, oh, she going to hell. Where does that come from? And why is that so ingrained in the
Mhm.
black culture?
I
Why?
don't know where it comes from, but I know it's very ingrained and it's a consistent theme throughout generations, and I could just speak for, you know, my family. You know what I mean? It seems like the men in our family are very connected outside of the home to other people that might necessarily be theirs. And they're very supportive of people. And everybody say you're born into a family, then you make your own. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when the only time some of your own see you is this there is a need or a service that can provide for you. Any
Mm,
other time, you don't always have the support of people. It wasn't until in my later years, and I probably say my late 20s, early 30s that I really became close with one of my brothers. You know what I mean? They were my brothers, of course, and we shared similarities and funny stories, and I have memories. But I'm talking about as far as somebody I can call and I will get advice from, or somebody I could call if I needed something fixed, or somebody that I really knew had my best interests at heart. I didn't feel like I had that from my brothers growing up. I had other male figures in my life that provided that, but I didn't become close to um my brothers until I was a full grown on adult. You know what I mean? And it's a common theme. And I see some people, that are so disconnected from their family, but they'll use them for babysitting services. Or they'll use them to further something that they have going on. You know what I mean? So I don't know where that norm came from that we have to accept everything that a man brings to a relationship, even if it's a new baby, if it's a side chick, if it's losing his job, if it's a drug addiction, if it's a hormone addiction. Black women are just kind of told to take it on the chin and support your man. And when you was talking earlier, when you said, when you were younger, you felt like mom was you're like, man, why she taking that? She we can be stronger. You know what I mean? I didn't think she was necessarily weak. I used to think like she got patience because I probably would have went upside somebody's head. I probably would have, I probably would have done something. So I was like, you know, yeah, I just was like, she's. People say have the patience of Job. That's like real life because some of the things I've mom's her tolerance and her boiling point, her top on the tea kettle rattled for a long time when my shit would have blew. That's what I'm trying to say. She had been through so many things, and it seemed like she should have just blew the steam off. And yeah, so I don't. I hope that answered your question. On my opinion, I just feel like the demise of it is that black women are supposed to take whatever is dished out from the males in their family, be it their brother, their uncle, their dad. We live in a very misogynistic world where the man can do no wrong, and they'll blame the woman for everything.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm so glad I got to know some men who weren't like that, who had
Mm.
morals, who before they started seeing someone new, they divorced their wife, or but still had their
Mhm.
children. Because I see men divorce their wife and then divorce the kids,
Mhm.
and then say shit like, "Well, they don't contact me, but you the parent."
It's real
Like,
talk.
I hear a lot of my girls in class could either talk about their fathers having new families and they don't give a fuck about the old family. I hear that a lot as a theme in my classes. And I feel like as Black people, we don't talk about that a lot because one of the things that we see and you'll hear me say words like some Black people say, hear some Black people say, like, well, that's because of the white man. I don't want to hear nothing. Please don't say that to me, y'all. We're all
Mhm.
human beings. We all have free will. We have free will. Some people, one of the things I really loved about Good Times, even though it wasn't a real show, James was right there struggling with his family. He didn't leave. We never heard about him cheating on Florida. We know it's a TV show. I'm just saying. But we act like it's okay. Like we act like men don't have, like they can't be in control of themselves.
So do you let me ask you a question. Do you feel like a man cheating has become a cultural norm for Black people? And not,
Yes.
I mean,
And I'm
but
not
a
saying
cultural
other
norm,
people.
because no, I'm not. Yeah, we not. And
Yeah,
when we say that,
I
we're
get you.
talking about Black people. So we don't want to say, oh, Mexicans do that too. White men cheat more than this. We're
Yeah.
not talking about them. We're talking about specifically Black people. Because I have heard people say when the father is absent, I've heard them say things like, well, it's a lot to take on kids, as if the mama had the choice to take on the fucking responsibility. Or, she wasn't
Mhm.
treating him right. She was catering to the kids more than she was catering to him. It's always an excuse or oh, I've heard that. I've heard that. And it's always like an excuse or an exit or a condoning fathers who get the option to walk away, because it's usually not an option for a mother. A good mother is not gonna walk away from her children. She's gonna sacrifice and do what she has to do. But do you feel like that's a cultural norm? And where did that come from? We're not talking white people, but where did that come from when we were just uh, accepting side chicks and side babies and disrespect and cheating and
I
degrading?
I think some of that, Khadijah, I have to break this down a little bit. So I think with the accepting of side chicks usually come from other side chicks.
Mm.
Usually women who condone side chickery was a side chick at one point in her life.
Side chickery, this fool.
You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I feel like for real, or they have cheated on somebody, or it's just because I find some of the things that we accept in our culture is because we were a part of making it happen. That's like when a
Mm.
man get accused of rape, most men will act like that's not a problem because they probably took some vagina at some point, knowing that if the woman had reported it, he would be a rape victim, even though he thought there was nothing wrong because our bodies belong to them.
Mhm.
So when a
And
woman
that's like
says
the saying, every man knows someone who has been raped, but no one knows a rapist.
no, something like that, it's like every
Yeah.
woman knows a raper. I mean, every woman knows
But
someone
so
who's been raped, but a
with
man
rape.
don't know a rapist.
Yeah,
Never,
and
never
men
knows
know,
it either.
and most men know the raper too, because it's a niece, it's a niece, a daughter, somebody. You know what I'm saying? But no,
You mean a
they won't
raper?
identify them. I said someone that has been raped.
Oh yeah, I thought you
Men
said
know
every
people
man
that have
knows a
been
raper.
violated.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, oh, I might
'Cause
have misspoke that.
I'm sorry.
Every man knows someone who has been raped, but none of them know a rapist. So
Yeah, I don't even know if men see rape like that. Because this is just my personal opinion. I know, I think men shy away from that. We don't talk about it. We don't because if I feel like if
I
men
think it's the
really
ones that's probably predators,
no, 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 I get you.
absolutely, or have predatory tendencies,
I
like when
think
you
regular men do too. And let me explain that.
some,
So
yeah,
I see a
that
lot
may
of
be true.
skits. Let me explain my Rolanda's point of view.
Okay.
Where every time I see a skit where people are trying to talk about rape or whatever, like there's a one famous skit that's out where there's a little girl on the bus stop and there's a man kind of harassing her, and there's another black man right there, and he says, "Do you know this young
Good
man?"
evening, Tasha.
Yeah, do you know this young man? And she says, "No." He gets up and says, "Move on."
Move boy. Uh-huh. Seen that.
Like move on to another person.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, hey, dude, you're in violation. I'm gonna call the police on you. You're harassing this young lady.
Go
Men will
harass
not do
somebody
that to
wrong.
other
I
men.
got you. Mm-hmm.
We'll give them an scapegoat. That's why I said they don't see it the same.
Instead
They
of knocking him upside
absolutely
his
don't.
head.
Yeah,
I
because
got
they
it.
feel like that could be me. Like I've heard a lot of instances where if a man's trying to talk to a woman and she don't take his advances, she becomes a bunch of bitches. Never seen
Uh-huh.
any man standing there go, "Hey, don't call her that. She don't want to fucking
And she
talk to
just
you."
don't want you. Uh-huh.
I've never seen men do that. I don't see men checking men, especially when it pertains to women and our safety, our bodies. Just us being. I just never seen it, Khadijah. I'm not saying that
Yeah,
the men don't
and no, no,
exist, but in the
and I
overall
agree.
culture, I haven't
And
seen it.
you, yeah, and you definitely don't see it anywhere on social media or on commercials or anything like that. You know what I mean? But when I was growing up, I absolutely seen it because I developed breasts early, and so sometimes walking home, it'd be men trying to holler, and it'd be somebody, daddy, who knew who our mama was or lived on our block, and be like, "Get up out her, leave her alone. She's too young for you. What you doing, man? I bust you, and I believe, I know some men that'll step up right now, and defend. It's far and few between. I'm gonna be all the way gutter with you. I say probably 2 out of 100 that'll probably run up on somebody who's bothering someone, but it's not a cultural norm for them, for anybody, to see something wrong with it. It's almost like they have the right to violate someone, or you have to accept their advances. I definitely agree with you on that,
Or
for
that's that
sure.
man. That's that man's business. I've heard. I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
what I've seen.
that's what
You
he
know,
like. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Uh
Even
huh.
with all this stuff with all the famous people getting busted right now, there were people standing there when the man did the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Pimping. We joke about pimping as a culture, but somehow that shit has made is now this feels normal.
Yeah, I'm about to say now it's not considered pimping. It's considered some people's culture. That's why
Right.
we have certain things that like these prom. I'm gonna go to prom. I'm gonna go to other things. Every artist, they have put a list out of rap artists, female top rap artists. Everyone that they showed was damn near naked, as if that had nothing. Everybody, that whole culture just looked like at one time it was something that maybe came on late at night or people had to go search out to find it. Now it
Hmm.
is so prevalent and right in your face that people think that is the norm to live that way. You know what I mean? It's like it's a culture where if he, he has the right to take up, you know,
I agree.
people, they really live by that right now. That's why when you say people sitting like this whole Diddy thing is hilarious to me too, because now everybody is all like, oh, he did this and did that, but there were thousands of people that was at these parties and saw these events happening, and nobody did
Yeah,
shit.
people being drugged and all that.
Yeah,
So
saw them being drugged, and now everybody's stories is coming out. So yeah, people definitely support it, and
yeah.
it wouldn't be around if people didn't support it. If
So
people
so
really check that shit, it wouldn't be around.
I agree. I agree. I think the bigger thing for me, Khadijah, and I totally agree. But y'all, if you're just joining us, we're talking relationships tonight and black relationships, and we're talking about like mothers and sons, fathers and daughters, the whole nine. I hear some of my students. So one of the reasons why I think sometimes I'm able to relate so personally with some of my students because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they share things, and I remember feeling that when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've heard some girls say they brothers would talk about how they don't fuck with black girls, how they prefer Mexican, how they prefer white. And then when I look at my brothers
Mm-hmm.
and see them in their relationships, or even see some of my nephews, and just some of the abusive kind of sub way that they treat women, like you're valuable to them when you could do shit for them. Now
Mm-hmm.
you're valuable.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are trying to be a young woman just trying to find your way, they're questioning why you ain't with nobody, why you ain't, well, dude, you get to do all the shit you do because you got a whole bunch of women like in this picture supporting you as a man, but
Mm-hmm.
you haven't been supporting back. Because the fact that you would say that shit to your little sister, she's a black girl. She's out here dealing with black boys in our community saying shit like that every day. But you're her brother.
Mm-hmm.
One of our brothers we know is a straight colorist.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a colorist.
Mm-hmm.
Wife looked like Ben Franklin because now she old. No, for real. And so I remember him being very colorist when we were growing up. That's why he's not really connected to black people. And that's why he comes off so weird because he ain't been black since probably about 1982, 83. And if this nigga got, excuse me, God, I'm trying not to use that word as much. If this dude
Yeah.
was to get shot by the police, he expect all of us is gonna be out in that street saying he's college educated, he's a good man. I will not be one of those people.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what did this fool do? Because you don't get no more whiter thinking than this dude.
Yeah, and I have to jump in there and say I never felt any type of validation on being a black woman or being a beautiful young black girl from my brothers. I didn't understand that black men love me. It didn't come from my any of my brothers or my father. That came from other black men that have been in my life that I was blessed to be around, like Dr. Khalid Muhammad, and different other brothers that made sure, to always big up us and beautiful, you beautiful black. I never felt that from my brothers, and and I was younger. I didn't really, and yeah, we definitely have a colorist. Everybody knows that. If anybody knows, they know the fuck we talking about. Um, but yeah, seriously, but I don't even know when I think of people like that, it's something deficient in them that makes them feel that way, and that's fine. But yeah, I never wanted to hold his baggage of his because my mom was fucking awesome sauce.
Yeah,
So that alone should give love to the black woman because she sacrificed so much for all of her children. No matter what stories you hear, it wasn't just for her girls. She sacrificed her life for
yes, she
all of her
did.
children. And people like to take a different approach and act like she just was out here and they had to go fend for themselves. Fuck no. People
Yeah,
moved back home as adults. People came home when they needed to. People would call and ask for
people
twenty
brought
dollars,
their
knowing she
crackhead
only
wife
had
home
30.
with them.
Knowing she only had $30, but she was sitting at 20 and make do with that 10 till she got something again.
That's right.
So regardless of what people may depict and show, but for me, the flip side of that is I wouldn't want to be with a man who don't have love for their black mama who fucking sacrifice. That gives me that's a side eye. So that's a choice that you make. But the man's first love should be his mother, especially if it's one that sacrificed her life and did all she can do. And like you said, came and braved the West by her goddamn self. So
Yes, she did.
it's a slap in the face when somebody's a colorist or they talk down or degrade black women and your mama was the fucking bomb and a rock of our family and the foundation. That's crazy for me. And yeah, I see it rub off in some of my nephews. You know what I
I
mean?
do
They
too.
have misogynistic ways,
Yep.
just like the men in this, and they don't, and some of them aren't even raised together, but they share that same belief that the
DNA.
women are beneath them, yeah, and that they can do and say whatever, and that we always have to be a support. And I think that's because our mama was always a support. You could always come back home. It didn't matter if we had to give up a room or a living room or a closet or a den, whatever. You could
Yeah.
always come back home and she always had your back. And I think that has rolled over into the men in our family where they feel like we have to have their back regardless. Even if you dead ass fucking wrong, even if you are disrespectful and degraded and not supportive, we still have to have your back because that's what black women are supposed to do. And I think that shit is crazy.
So Tasha said this is deep. What's
It's
making this so deep for you, Tasha?
probably because
'Cause
she know I
you,
got damn
you know
family,
our
so she
family.
probably yeah, she know
But
the
I
real. But I
also
think I even and like I said, my son is a black guy. He really wants to get into dating, but he wants to date a black girl, and but no black girls want to date him, and a lot of them is because of the image of their father as a black man. They don't. Some black girls do not want to fuck with black boys because the depiction of their fathers and the way he was in the home or not in the home or the way he treated his mom if he was there or the way he did other things, they are not trying to fuck with no black men.
but let me tell you this though. Let me tell you something. Even though they feel like
They
that, you
will
right
want
on.
to. They will
No, no,
want
no,
to,
no. This I'm
but
about
they
to back
really
you
yeah.
up. What you're saying is true. But when I ask my young ladies at all of my different schools, about like family, they all say they want to have some black babies, but they
Yep.
don't want to be with
They
no
don't want.
black man. Now, how do you
Yep.
get a black baby
Hmm.
without the black man? Because I believe that's what makes really a black baby. I'm not talking about biracial. I'm talking about mixed. I'm talking about a black child. Both parents are black. So they know that they probably may get the seed of the black man, but they don't want to. They don't want to build nothing with him.
Yeah, yeah, they do. Oh my, Jim Ty said my son too. He says the black girls at his school do not. Yeah, especially if you're not a particular image that's portrayed on TV.
Yes,
Unfortunately, our black girls are in Ratchetville, and if you're not disrespectful, calling them names, being rude, they don't think you love them. And I'm not saying all black girls because I know some good black girls. I was with
me
some this
too.
weekend. I mean on Friday that I just loved having a conversation with them. Good girls. But I mean, they, sometimes they don't want to. And the flip side of that. A lot of black boys don't want black women because of who their mothers are and how they treat them. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes black mothers have attachments where they don't they son become their mate. And they dress them like
That's
they
deep.
dress they dudes. They give him responsibility like they his dude. The son has to do everything that the man of the house is supposed to do, take the trash out, make sure we safe, the doors locked, get the kids ready. That's a husband, that's a mate's responsibility, not your
Hmm.
child. But I see a lot of black mothers treating dressing them, getting the earrings in his ear, the same outfit the daddy got on, the son got it on. Made the outfit maybe a little bit more mature for him, but he still got it on. You know what I mean? The young man start dating somebody, the mom's in competition with the girlfriend because
Yep,
she
I
thinks her
seen
son
that.
is her mate and not her son. Like this, I don't know what happened. And we're saying that because we're talking about cultural and traditional norms.
Yep.
Now this is becoming a norm. 15 years from now, this is going to be people are going to think this is just the way we were forever. Because a lot of these motherfuckers don't research or read nothing in the past. They don't look at stuff in the past. This is going to be the norm. You know what I mean? And it is some people's cultural norms right now. So you can
Yep.
try to help somebody or bring them in an environment that be more conducive to flourish and be healthy, and they'll bring that mindset and that way because that's their cultural norm is to not do shit or to be at the bottom of the barrel or
Call you
or to swim at the
whitewash.
bottom of the sea. Yeah, call you whitewash, so you think you perfect, all that kind of stuff. Tanya says he says they're mostly loud and mean, so he tends to stay away from them. I believe it. There's some wild ones out there. My brother said at one point that he didn't want to be with the black woman because of me. I was hard on him, but reminded him that how I was treated versus him was drastically different. I had to fight while he just had to live. There is a difference. Show the hell is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It is a difference. These norms are generational too. Yeah, it's definitely becoming generational, and that's
yeah.
the sad part about it.
That's the
Like,
fuck.
there's some people that at my sister be working with, and she be like, "I knew your mama," or they have
Hmm.
cousins that are in the class that live in and they have the same behaviors. Like,
Yep.
it's cultural generational norms. That is so true, Tanya.
Yeah, that is so. And they wonder why they get cut out of stuff. But let me give y'all an example because I don't mind being personal. I don't really give a damn.
Go ahead, go for it.
You know, I love my brothers, but I feel like they had a problem with my mom because she wouldn't put up with my dad. So that's why they
I
treat
agree.
women the way that they do. Like if a woman stands her ground, all of a sudden she too strong. Like what the fuck she supposed to do? Like you think our mom was just supposed to go along with our dad to get along, and this nigga was out of pocket?
Hmm.
And now you on because I hear this sometimes. Like y'all don't know how to respect men, dude. When I see a man, I respect a man.
That
Just
part.
because you are male, don't mean you're a man. You could be a male man, but that don't mean you are a man.
And I think that goes back to when you said earlier when we started off that some black men they will see a man doing something and act like it's okay or go on to someone else. That's the same way they felt like our mother was supposed to just accept his discrepancies
Yep.
and his betrayals and his disloyalty. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Dishonesty. Not that. Yeah, I could say
mm.
that. I could say that. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
You feel what I'm
And I
saying?
think that's also why it was a problem. You know, why we weren't as bonded and close to them because we are our mother's daughters.
All
And it
day.
was certain things that we seen her witness and that she put up with
Mm.
for the sake of us,
Yeah,
um,
I can't
that
do
I
it.
refuse to put up with or even put myself in. That's
Hmm.
probably why I didn't get married till I was in my damn near my late 40s, to be exact. Um, and I think that's why not necessarily that we hard on men, but that we are very selective because we
Yes,
seen our
ma'am.
mom put up with some shit that would have broke most people. It broke her
Yeah,
health down.
sure did.
She. That's why you gotta let stress go. Anything that don't mean good, you gotta let that shit go. Because my mom held on to so much trying to keep it together for us that it broke her body down, and so she's
Hmm.
not here anymore. And I think it's selfish of
Ooh,
anybody to think they should have to, even not our mother, but anybody in a relationship right now that has a wife that you're not doing right by, or you're doing shit wrong. I
Tanya.
think it's very selfish. There was a lot of selfishness I witnessed out of men in our family growing up,
Me too. Me
a lot
too.
of selfishness. As I'm older, back then I just thought it was normal because that was the fucking norm. It wasn't until I got older and got around other people in their relationship with their siblings or seeing other pattern, other things that I knew was something different. But I
Yeah.
thought it was normal for you to grow up and go away and that's it. Don't come back, don't get back unless you need. I thought that was normal.
Sister Tanya says a lot of our black girls are raised on survival and our boys are raised on love. Well, I agree.
Mm,
I look at it like this. I think they just raised on taking care of business
Mhm.
because I know a lot of black boys, people love them, but they lazy as hell. I'm dating somebody right now who's struggling with their goddamn grown ass son who has a damn degree from a 4-year university, but he don't want to do nothing on his own. But his sisters are doing fabulous, and so
Now,
I'm
do you
saying
think that?
myself, I feel like we do a lot of it. Ain't survival for them. I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's business. We teach them to take care of business. That's why black
Mhm.
girls can like make a way out of no way. But when it comes to our boys, we love them, but they be trifling. They don't even take out trash. Like I know a woman who said, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my son, because he like, what I'm talking about. He like nice stuff. I'm gonna be having to get a couple of jobs. Her son
And
went to
then she
prison,
said,
in and out of
she no,
prison.
and she all and then finish the end of that statement.
Oh, go
Or
ahead.
he gonna be a drug dealer or do something illegal
She
to get
did
his
say
money.
that.
That was the end of the sentence. And Tanya, you went to school with this person. I text you and tell you I'm talking about. And that
Yeah.
was my, yeah,
Oh, I
he
never
was
forget
like
that.
part of our family. But the mama, yeah, that boy was spoiled goddamn rotten.
I
And
heard
yeah,
that so
straight
much
to
at
monster.
work. I used to hear black mothers love their sons and raise their daughters.
Right there.
I grew up hearing that everywhere. The mailman. You got me, J Mine. How you doing, sis? And then she said, "You better text me."
I
That
am.
part. So I get what you're
It
saying.
was who always hung with my nephew. You seen one, you seen the other.
Yep.
And then they graduated and went opposite directions in life.
This dude was, and he been in and out of prison. I think he may be in prison right now because we ain't seen him in a while.
He is. He
You
is.
know, so if you're just joining us, we're talking about black relationships. And me and Khadijah this past week have been in a lot of conversations. I mean, like some stuff, you know how you watch somebody grow up and you're not around them a lot, and then you get a chance to sit down with them, and then
Whew.
y'all start talking about the past, and then a lot of things that was said that just slapped me all up my head. And I was to myself, we need to talk about this.
A lot of goddamn lies was unveiled that never
Ooh.
existed. And that was the slap upside the head. Like, what the fuck? This happened, that happened. Like, what? Yeah, it was a lot of lies being told on the, it's just a lot of lies being told. That's the best way I can put the shit.
And in our
And
family,
Tanya, yes, you do know who I'm talking about. Go ahead.
also in our family, we also learned that people lie to their kids because they didn't go live their best life. So they're gonna act like they stayed in relationships, and because my mom and her relationship, my mom was married to my dad like 30 years with all his trifling illiterate self. Love my daddy, blessed memory. This person married a man, and on their wedding day, this man was had the side chick meeting with his family and seeing his latest baby that he had on her. This is on the
She
wedding day.
didn't know.
So what we noticed that this person, instead of saying, I stay with this man because I'm into materialism, because every time he cheated on her, he bought her a tennis bracelet, he bought her a car, he bought her a house. This dude was cheating like he's drinking water. And so instead of trying to blame it on my mama, just say, hey, I stayed with him because I like the material.
Damn lying.
I
That's
mean,
real
no,
talk.
seriously. Then you lie to your children and got them writing raps about we was on you was never on Section 8 as a child. Okay?
And the flip side
You
of
was
that is
never
other
on
people.
Section 8 as a child. You on it as an adult who should be having two jobs while they're at college for the 20th year. Get the fuck out of here. I'm so tired of black folks lying to their kids.
God
Be
help me,
honest.
please.
Tell them what you did. Tell them, you know what I mean? Like, be honest. Be honest
I
why
think,
you stay with your dad. Be
Rolanda,
honest about it.
I think honesty and accountability is something that is lacking, especially when you're at fault or you could have made better decisions or if you was being selfish. And what I'm talking about with that is other people, young people that we talk to, whose, parents are divorced. The father gave a whole history as to why they were divorced as if he had no blame. It
Yes.
was all on the mama, and then
Oh,
divorced the mama and then divorced the children as well. So we have to sit and listen to them talk about how they feel divorced from their father and unattached. And now he has a whole new family and a whole new set of people and never acknowledge them. That shit is like our families and our stuff are hurting because people lack honesty and accountability. So it's easier to say, our mom stayed with. And I'm gonna say this. Let me be clear on this. Our mom never divorced our dad, but he had been out
never.
of the home forever, for a
Yes.
long
She
time.
never
But
divorced
she
them.
never divorced him because she really stood by it. So she wasn't just living land with this man every night and he was out hoeing
No.
everywhere and doing
Mm-mm.
no, they just never
Not our mom.
divorced. And so people try to use that as a reason as to why my mom stayed married, so I'm gonna stay married, and that's bullshit. She stayed married on paper only. They have been separated, living separate, for a while, you know. But I think it's easier to blame your mother or your father when you make selfish, fucked up choices and decisions,
You better say
and then
that.
in the long run, it affects and mess up your kids. So instead of you saying my bad, I made poor decisions, I was selfish, I was thinking about myself, or I didn't know what I was doing, I was trying to. But no, it's easy to say I witnessed this, and so that's the. But we was. What I've noticed, we were all raised in the same household, but we all have totally different cultural norms.
That's true.
Totally different cultural
That's
norms.
true.
Not that anybody's cultural norms are better than the other or anything like that. It's just certain cultural norms that is normal to us that may not be normal to them. And certain things that they do is not normal to me. But
Okay.
it's now become their cultural norm.
I'm
And
gonna
we
give
was
you an
raised in the same
example.
fucking house.
I'm gonna give you
Let's
an
read some of the
example.
comments.
Okay. Read the comments. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Tanya said trifling. What's up, Kim? What's up, Elisa? Oop, I stepped away for 3 minutes. Damn, what happened here? But how do you determine what is too honest? To me, only thing
Nothing is
that's too
too
honest
honest.
is if I'm talking about somebody that was raped or violated. But if you ask me about the family dynamics and the history, and it's just and it's just straight made up lies that can if telling the truth could free up your emotional abuse or could free you up, I'm going to tell the truth. And if that means saying, baby, that never happened, or baby, that's not how it happened, that mean you got to go into detail. But yesterday, when we was having conversations, it was a lot was lifted off these. They thanked us for the conversation that we had
You sure
because
did.
they were able to relieve some shit because people like to place blame on others or make them the scapegoat of their messed up decisions.
Mm.
And so, and oftentimes people make their children the scapegoat of even their bad decisions. And how can a child control, like, you don't call me, or you
You
don't do this,
grown.
or you don't do this for me, or why you only call me for this and all that? That's so much pressure on a child.
Yeah.
You make your children your scapegoat as to why you don't fucking contact them, why you're not invited to barbecues, why they don't do things with you. And then you have a whole new family that gets all of the activities that you once had with your children. That's crazy as
I
shit
was
to me.
getting ready to say, what gets me is when you see a person leave their family and then get with a new person who was also the result of why your marriage broke up. So the person was a side chick before she was the new wife. And then do
Mm,
all of this stuff with this person's family. Her kids or their kids, like I'm a grandparent, blah blah blah. But your own children,
mm.
the ones you had first, the ones that lived with you and was there during Christmas and you
The
took them
pre-side
hiking
chick
and
kids.
yeah,
Hmm.
I mean? They don't get anything, but you give everything to this new person. And you want somebody to believe that you're a stand up and you lie all the time. Lie, lie, lie. You act like we don't know you lying. But we know because we're looking at your children. We're looking at who your daughters are dating. They're not dating you.
Oh shit.
That's
Hell
no. I
no.
feel like we gotta. If we gonna save ourselves,
Gotta
somebody
be
gotta
honest.
tell the truth. That's why people out here cracked out, smoked out, sexed out, because nobody can be honest
And
about
wore
what,
the
what
fuck
they're
out.
putting war out.
Hmm.
Nobody wants to be honest with these young people. We act like
And
people just
and
popped up
and
on
that's
their own.
also and that's also why history repeats itself. Because we're not honest about the choices. We are not honest about the history in the family when we make it seem like it was. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, we was dirt fucking poor when we got
Poor.
to
Yes, we were.
California.
Yes, we
I'm gonna
were.
keep it real. My mom got us out of North Philly and brought us to California. We were just happy to see sunshine and palm trees and fucking. We were just it was a totally different. But we were dirt poor. Them black and white generic food and the yellow and black generic. We grew up. We knew all about that. So we were dirt poor. But
Mm,
when you don't share that part of your history with your offspring, that's when you have them living unrealistic lives that will set
yes.
them up to be emotionally damaged because they
Yes.
think they're coming from a family of well-to-do when we was just trying to make do. And so you have to be honest about your history because it's messing up the generations.
Real
It's
talk.
messing up the generations.
You'll read these comments before
Tanya
we go
said,
in on.
I'm from the South. When I moved to Cali, it was a huge culture shock for me, even with black folks. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
California is
true.
something different. Good evening, Elisa. And I still have those clothes for you. We're going to hook up. So basically, what I'm hearing y'all say, run that nigga over. I'm saying be honest. And if he happens to get ran over, get out the way. But you have to be honest about your family history and the ups and downs, the turnovers, all of that. Auntie Ro, get out my business, right? Because this topics that everybody can relate to,
I know
period.
it is.
But if we're not honest, our children, the next generation, that's why it's getting worse and worse
Yes.
and worse. That's why
Yes.
Elisa's out here doing these different shows and trying to bring culture back to our people. That's why there's nobody in there, because that kind of cultural norm is no more. Live music, having a good, safe time, being good, that's not a cultural norm. You want to be somewhere where it's a possibility it might get shot up because that's the lit party, because everybody gonna be there. They're gonna be, you know what I mean? That's not a cultural norm anymore. For
And
some people.
when people are so, I hate, I don't like ignoramus people. I don't
Yeah,
like
niggas
people
living
who
in
say,
delusion.
who say, well, I shot 10 people. Dude, you never even been inside of a damn prison. Shut up. Like, why do you have to present yourself as a tough dude? Why? We know you didn't do that. We know you didn't do that. But then you expect for our kids to solve their problems without violence.
Mm,
You
mm,
see, my other thing is your children get to see how you treated their mother. For a long time, I didn't mess with my dad because I don't like the way he treated my mom. So
hmm.
it took me a while. My mother was such a good teacher. She used to say stuff like, "You want to take care of your daddy," and I'd be like, "Yeah, right, mama." Not to her face, but I did it anyway because my mother was an excellent teacher. But my thing is, some of this shit gotta stop. Like
Definitely.
we gotta really tell people the truth to their face. If you got diabetes, we're gonna have to bust your ass out and give you a prescription for some truth insulin because you lying all the time. And we know you're lying. It's just so
Damn Wanda.
ridiculous, and then it impacts your children. See,
And
I
I
end up
think
look.
that and
I
I
think
think
love
that
who
come
you.
from the
Hmm?
saying, what happens to a dream deferred? Some people
Does it
never
dry up
reach
like
their
a
full
raisin in the
potential. And
sun?
I don't mean as far as being tall. I don't mean as far as being married and having children. They didn't reach their full potential that they thought they had in their mind. And so now they have created an alternate universe. We talked about, I
Yes,
told you, we could be
yes,
sitting talking to somebody and you can see right when they go into their alternate universe
yes.
and they go into the liar mode. We could be sitting right there and we watch it. We see it happen all the time. And this, I say, oh, they in psychosis. And my sister will crack up because they really
Yes,
believe
do.
that this
We can see it.
lie exists, and it's like
Yes,
that's mental health.
yes.
It's just undiagnosed mental illness. I don't give a damn what nobody say. It's diabetes. There are habitual liars, there are chronic liars, and there are some people that are mentally off that really believe the stuff that they be saying. And
And
they've
what
been
get me
saying
is
it for
that
years.
when the women who be with them act like it's cool.
Because they got either niggeritis. They just want to have a man. So they got an illness too. You know how somebody say a bad man better than no man? That's usually a desperate broad. That's usually a desperate broad that I'll take any man just as long as I got one. He could cheat. He could talk down to me. He could be rude. He could tell me to shut the fuck up. I have to go to a party, can't talk to nobody, or he'll get jealous. Or I have to go sit in the corner and only speak when
Tanya.
spoken to. I got to serve him everywhere. So we have women that
Oh,
will take
we
all of
gotta
that
talk about
from.
that piece. Hold on. Khadijah, read the comments and then we gonna talk about the piece you
Let's
just
think
said because
this
I
week
think that
if
was
you were
something that
free.
was
Our car got total. Definitely, at least just let me know. Let me know. I got you. With the
it's
Tanya, I
fine.
didn't see Tanya's one by quick. Diabetes is a new one. Something wrong with her, Tanya. You're not even knowing. Tasha says, "Oh, y'all met my baby daddy." It's a lot of people, men like your baby daddy. That's what's so fucking scary. That is what is
Yeah, that's
so
sad.
scary. There are a lot, and that's why we're saying we've been in so many meetings. We've been in school districts everywhere. We've been in people's private homes talking. And
Yep,
Tanya,
we
it is across. These topics are across. That's why I said every
it's deep.
every economic structure from the people on Section 8 to the people that live in the good big houses to the
Yep,
people
this
that's
is
on welfare
real.
to the people that have 401ks and got a good
Yep,
savings and
that's real
and got
talk.
the Teslas. It's across the board in Black people
Yes,
culture.
yes,
It's not, and I'm talking about from 18 years old to the ratchet 50, 60-year-old grandma. It is across the
the
damn
board.
board. From the
Yep,
grandpa to the baby who's sagging with a do-rag on at 2 years old that know all the fucking words to all these rap beat songs but don't know his ABCs. It is across the
the
board.
board.
I'll say this says, I'm wondering if it is defining a cultural norm or just doing what's right. What is cultural if folks just can't be right? Just curious. We're saying cultural norms is what people, as
Do
certain
every
people
day.
do, that's that every day that becomes part of their cultural norm. And I can't tell you what your cultural norm is because there's
Yeah.
certain things that you may do that I don't do. Everybody has their own cultural norms, but what we're saying is we're noticing some similarities that have become a cultural norm for Black people, regardless of your
So, for instance, a
economic status
cultural norm is when you see people in Walmart with house clothes, bedtime clothes, with a
and
bonnet on.
bonnets.
That in my culture, they don't leave the house. You don't leave the house like that.
Period.
My mother's from old school. When you left the house, you were dressed for the day. I come from the culture when you get up in the morning, you take a shower and get yourself ready, whether if you're going to stay at home or go out to work. That's
Put
a
some clothes
cultural
on.
norm. Cleaning the kitchen is a cultural norm. After every meal, you clean the
Mm-hmm.
kitchen. That's a cultural norm for me. My mama not smoking weed with me, that's a
Was a
cultural
cultural
norm.
norm
I
too.
don't
Yeah.
smoke weed. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying if I did.
I no,
There's
no.
some
You're
things I
right.
didn't
Yeah.
do with my mom because culturally, that's my mama. I hold her in
Mm-hmm.
high esteem, and she holds me in high esteem. So we don't do certain stuff together.
Sometimes we never cross. Yep.
You
Yep.
Khadijah.
Some things you just never cross.
So culture is how you live your life. That's cultural norms, like straight up. That's cultural
Yep.
norms.
But
Saying
what
yes,
was you gonna
ma'am, and
say?
yes, no, it's a part of my culture.
Speaking to somebody when you walk into a room, it's part of our culture.
Part of my culture.
You know, seeing the elder with no seat, you get up and you give him yours. That's part of our
So
culture.
let me give y'all another cultural norm that's across the board. Somebody told me yesterday, this rocked my socks, that when they was with somebody we knew, that they could not talk to us more than 5 minutes if we were at a gathering because
Mm-hmm.
the person she was with didn't like her to be with anybody else because basically it's like she may get empowered and may see this fool for being totally crazy. So she ended up sitting next to her mother and hanging with her mother at most of the functions. And when I thought back on it, I was like, oh shit.
And she also
That
said
meant
when
that
she
this
would
person
get,
she was with was a controlling,
yeah,
abusive
a
kind of dude.
control freak. And also, um,
That was
they
deep for
would
me.
be it would be complaints that you didn't spend enough time with me because you were giving other people my time.
That was deep.
So she had, that shit was
That was
crazy.
deep for me
And
because
that's
I
and that's
thought
a
back
that's a
on it.
that's a total mind F. Trying not to cuss. That's a total mind F. That is emotional abuse, in
Yes.
my opinion.
Yeah.
That's emotional abuse.
Yeah.
Control freak to the 10th power, Tanya. Absolutely. And if you think back, you're like, damn, that is true.
Yeah. But we think of people being abusive and controlling as some crazy person on a burning bed.
No, hell no.
No, this is a person who likes to talk about being in law enforcement, which they weren't. This is a motherfucker who said he had 10 heart attacks. This is the person who gets mad when this current person do anything other than with him, like if he's not the center, even when they have guests. I also think there's some linkages, Khadijah, to some of these cultures, the way we are communicating with men and women, and the death toll for Black women,
That part.
that Black femicide, domestic violence. But when it's somebody that you know and you think this person's a good guy, you can't even wrap your head around domestic violence. Not saying it's that, or just being
Or
abusive
the,
or a
or
control freak.
mental abuse.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we don't want to. That's like when Diddy, until that video came out, most Blacks were like, "Oh, I can't see Diddy. He likes to dance around the stage. He's funny. He's generous. Every
They
time you
want
see him,
his
he's
money.
smiling." Then we see him kick this goddamn girl in the hallway and throw
Drag her
something at her
ass.
while she
Hmm.
laying down, defenseless. Then people had to eat their damn words because that's how we protect abusive people in Black culture.
She said, and that's how the abuse starts. It's not always physical. It always starts in the mind first. It
Yes,
always starts with giving you insecurities, making you feel insecure, also making them your own, making them your world. So you can't have no outside friends. Your friends is to a minimum. You can't have long talks on the phone. You can't talk to somebody too long at a party. They want your sole focus to be on him. That shit starts in the mind first.
that is so
And if the
damn
nigga
true.
just start right off beating you, he is not just he's crazy. Cause usually it's a workup.
Yeah,
If he hit you first, the nigga's a killer. Get away. He about to take you out.
I just thought hearing that information yesterday, Khadijah, like rocked my socks.
Do
I'll
you
be,
think that
I
has a you think the history of all of that makes is the reason why neither one of the daughters are with black men?
absolutely, Absolutely. Look here, Khadijah. Look here. Uh yes, absolutely.
Mm,
Because here's the thing though. Here's the thing. They're also experiencing this with their brother.
mm,
I heard that
mm.
in the conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
So, um, why would I wanna, you know, then the
Subject
person
myself
keep
to it.
then the person keep talking about how their current wife look like a white woman and she look like a uh
This she just don't look like a white woman.
she don't.
She just don't look like a
Okay,
white woman.
Khadijah,
You
because
ain't
you know
got
I was about to put it
no
down, but I
description.
get tired
There's
of
no
hearing black
else
men
to it.
do that shit to black women. You know, like
Uh-huh.
who cares what complexion she is? Don't nobody give a fuck. Is she a black? She's a black woman, so you really shouldn't even care. But the fact they got to hear you with that, they
Because
got to
we
see
don't
you go.
care.
They got to see you, your new family. It looks like it looked like this dude is the butler at the house. Like he's Jeffrey or what's the other dude name? Who was the butler? He Benson
Vincent.
or Jeffrey from the Bel Air. He don't look like nobody in the family. All the great grandkids, they're all mixed. I mean, but they're mixed like looking like more like white people than they look like they have a black ancestor. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? And I'm saying to myself, this how warped your head is. You gonna make up a family and then they don't even look like your real family. You don't think that's weird?
mental health. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
You up
This
here
is
acting
a
like
mental
you think
illness
this
that's
person was a
undiagnosed.
mammy in slavery. Like they didn't have in slavery, you didn't have no choice. You were a free black person. You up here hugging on babies and kissing people and I molded this person. What about the children you had before? Boo.
Mhm.
Where they go?
Mhm.
Y'all is now. I don't see. We talk about that singer who talking about his first family is a bunch of devils, but now he with
Brian
this.
McKnight.
Yeah, see, we got a Brian McKnight. He just a broke McKnight, but he's a Brian McKnight.
This-
The nigga got diabetes. Sorry,
Oh,
y'all.
and also don't
This
even.
subject is
I
very
think it's mental
passionate for
illness
me. It's very
to have a
passionate.
child to have a child and not acknowledge the child. I think that
Fucked up.
is crazy. Hey, Sybil Shepherd. I think that's crazy. I really do. And I hope you're feeling better, boo. But yeah, I just I don't know.
It pissed me
Let's
off,
ask this.
Khadijah.
That type of Brian McStupid, I like that. Also, as we
Brian
talking about
McStupid.
the daughter's not the daughter's not wanting to be with black men. I know for a fact that the sons are feeling some particular way because they're missing a key part of having a father in their life. So that you know what I mean? Like
Well,
some
here's
sons are really hurt. And sometimes people say you can't miss what you didn't have because I believe some mental illnesses you have to just sacrifice and pray about it and keep your child far, far away because this shit is crazy and it can hurt your
some of
child
this
in the long run. Just my
some of this
opinion.
stuff is in the DNA. I've seen people's children do things exactly like their parent, mother or father.
Mhm.
You
I'm
know,
talking about when
we
you have a minor child or a child
oh, I get
that's
you.
in the world by and you don't even acknowledge the
Now, here,
child, but
here's
you
my thing.
acknowledge other
Hold
children.
on, hold on. Before we get to that, hold on. 'Cause I want to get a. But I gotta say this. I wonder what it's like for little black girls who have a dad who's clearly black. Not like I'm brown black, not like
Mhm,
I'm mixed black, not like I'm a quarter black. Like people see me and be like, "Are you black? Are you from Africa? You know, like, are you from down south?" They black like that's a different type of black, by the way,
mhm,
right? And then they see you get girlfriends and have the rest of your kids with people who are not black.
mm,
How do you think that makes the daughter feel?
mhm.
But see,
Undervalued,
men
not
don't. But
loved.
see, men, that's that
Mhm,
selfishness. He's not even thinking about that. See, back my mom didn't date nobody after my dad because she said I don't want no men around my daughters.
mhm,
Sacrifice, boo. But there's men who will bring home a woman. You know, this person talking about. I guess he likes Latinos. I don't know why. Even though he'll read every conscious book there is, but evidently I don't know what the hell he's getting out the goddamn book because it tell you to go find Claire Muhammad, not
you keep bringing Jennifer
the
Lopez.
yeah, right. And so
Mhm,
my thing, but then you have a black daughter. You don't think she see how you love on this non-black woman who can't even braid her hair?
Oh my
And
God,
there
this
are
sucker.
black people in Latin America. There's more black people in Latin America than there are in the United States. So somebody's braiding up something. But I don't think men, that's that selfish shit we're talking about. They don't even see that part. All he worried about is how it's going to make him feel. That he has the right
Selfish,
looking person on his arm.
selfish, selfish. She can't even come. What about when a woman is close in age to you as a child? Yeah, that's you doing too much. You doing too much. And then
So
it's
here's the
also
thing.
sad. And I'm gonna say this: it's also sad and annoying and pisses me off when a new woman in a new family allows the other children to be distant. Because I couldn't be with a man who didn't take he wasn't in a
Me
relationship with
either.
his children.
Me
I
either,
that's a
Khadijah.
that's a different kind
Absolutely
of
not.
cold heart that I just don't have. So I
Absolutely
couldn't be
not.
with a man and they have no communication with any of their children.
Me either.
I think that is crazy or have very minimal.
Yeah.
I think that's crazy. Sick, shaking my head. And you see your dad take care of the woman and her son since he was a child. Yeah. Yeah, Lisa, that shit hurt. That's hurtful as hell.
That's
That
what we're
is a
talking
very
about.
traumatic, and people don't want to talk about that.
That's what we're
They act
talking
like we
about.
have to just accept that that's a choice that he made, regardless of how you're feeling. That's why we were very clear in letting the young lady know that we heard her and her feelings are validated.
Yes.
They're valid, baby, because so often when people are honest like you, Elisa, we act like, girl, get over it. Your dad got a new quit tripping. You ain't no baby. It doesn't fucking matter. It was traumatic for me to see my father being a father to someone when he was not a father to me. When I
Yes.
see my father taking trips and planning birthdays and
Yep.
attending events and doing everything with the new family, and he forgot about the family that was pre-side chick. That shit hurts. And I'm speaking from experience.
Me too,
That
Khadijah.
shit
Me
hurts. You know
too.
what I mean? And I think it's unfair for us
Look,
to act like children have to accept or
suck it
brunt
up.
of the responsibility and
Yep.
accountability because you wanted to have a new family because the last one or the first one kind of woke up and saw that some shit was off and different and the self-esteem got up and they got a little wiser, the kids got a little older, they had more choices and realized this ain't my forever. I can't be like this forever.
That's real talk,
And we
sister.
act like that's the problem when somebody really finally wakes up and says, I can't be like this other. Then you blame the kids for not reaching out for you when you the motherfucker that left the relationship. The children didn't have a choice. But it's not their duty to reach out to a
That's
parent
true.
when you're divorced or separated. You are the parent. So they shouldn't have to chase your ass down to get love from their father. They shouldn't have to chase you down. And they shouldn't be
Look at
assuming
y'all.
because you have a new set of kids. That shit. And I don't respect no woman who would be with a man who don't talk to his fucking kids. That's a weak, insecure broad. I don't give a fuck who get mad. That's weak and that's insecure.
Look, I'm be
That's
honest with
my
y'all. I'm
comment.
52 years old. Not until maybe what was it, 2 years ago when I was 50. That's the first time I went to Disneyland. I've been hearing about Disneyland since I was a kid. My dad took a woman and her whole family to Disneyland. We've been in California forever. He never took us. That shit was so burnt in my psyche. I didn't even want to fucking go to Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
did,
hear that.
and I had to deal with like, Mom, why are you tripping off of
Our
Disneyland?
dad didn't even take us to the fucking carnival. Sorry. But I'm saying we would have been happy with the carnival. We
Yeah,
didn't
you
even
didn't
take
even do
up.
that,
Our
Khadijah.
mom would save
You
up
got me
something
on
to
this
get on
motherfucker
2 or 3
dying.
rides because she didn't have no money. But
Oh,
he didn't even take us to the goddamn carnival.
you got
We
my
got some
stomach over
comments on
here
here.
killing me right now.
Go up some on the sister girl. When my dad died, his wife didn't even tell me, didn't include me on the obituary, and put her niece and nephew as his children. I was his only child. Scandalous.
You
That's what
nice,
she
because I would have
is,
had to.
and it's a hot place in hell for her.
Yes,
Tanya
it is. It's
Bitterfield,
a
thank
special
you.
chair with gasoline on it for her.
Yeah, we
Damn.
got some more other comments.
Okay, want me to go back
Tanya
up?
Bitterfield, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, what about right here? Sorry, y'all. Let me get these because my job is to get comments in.
Sick, shaking my head. And you see your dad take. We read that one already.
I did.
I'll go
Okay,
off
let
my
me go down.
phone. Cold blooded. He has apologized, but it's something I'll never forget. Absolutely. And at least it's got. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. And I can tell you that it probably was hard as hell. My son is dealing with that. His dad just had baby number 7. Goddamn. And y'all young. But at least I was gonna say, and even that apology probably was
Tanya.
like we should jump him. The straight up, yeah, we should jump her ass. I'm there, yeah. See, I'm gonna tell you, I'm the type of person I probably would have cussed that lady out.
Uh,
Now, if you was my friend, I was at the funeral. I would have cussed her because I'm such a protector. If I ever see her, it's on sight. That's so, but that is so
uh,
fucking. That's so evil, y'all. That is so evil.
but like I
That
said,
is that's evil as hell.
but I'm gonna tell y'all something. When people do fucked up shit like this, they pay for it before they leave. That's all I gotta
That
say.
part.
Because this person waited out a whole family, and now she got the prize, and this nigga's a headache. But you waited for his ass. You fucking with him when he was married, and now you got him, and now he a headache. Just saying. So everybody gotta pay these dues. That's why so many people when they die out here and they be by themselves and people like, oh, the poor man. You don't know what this man did in life. You don't know everybody pays before they leave. Y'all don't understand this, but this is a contract that we have when we come down here.
Hmm.
But they ain't getting away with shit. I know this hurts you, and I get that because I'll be pissed off. But I'm telling you,
Tanya, miserable than a motherfucker.
yes, yes,
Yes, yes,
yes.
Lord.
Just the comments. I'm sorry.
Kavisha Williams called me and I pull up. Me too. She gonna bust hell wide open with gasoline draws on. Yes, Tina, and
That's
welcome,
real
Tina.
talk.
Absolutely, just sitting over there miserable. Yeah, yeah. And it's just,
I'm just
I
saying.
don't. And
But
that's
I just
another
don't.
cultural norm that has become normal, where black women just don't give a fuck about people, kids, and because at one point, even if it wasn't your child, you automatically was that nurturing spirit, especially if they had a whole life before you. You automatically, you know what I mean? That's when blended families. Now
Mhm.
they don't want to blend shit in but their foundation. They don't want to blend no family. They don't want
That's
nothing
so
or they
true.
smoothie. They don't want nobody. They want their children to get it all. Don't minimum contact. Do all this. It's that's becoming a cultural norm where we don't even give a fuck. It might have
Yeah,
been one or two in between. That's why the side chicks was they was on the side and quiet and played their position. Now these motherfuckers think they the head of the family. Shit is crazy. We dealt with that shit dealing with our family reunion. Somebody married and then that used to be the side chick and then they had a lot of mouth. You fall the fuck back. As the old people used to say, a reckoning is coming. You can't hurt children and nothing happens to you. Show the hell
that's
can't
right.
you?
That's right.
And he was still married to my mom when she got with him. Yeah, she a cold
Be
piece.
that shit. That
She's
they
a
just be
cold
so.
piece.
And you know what gets me? Women, stop believing everything men tell you.
And half these people
I
know
have
that
a
shit.
rule when I'm
I
dating
be
somebody, you cannot talk bad about any ex you was with. Not to me.
you was with
Take that
their
shit
ass.
over there. Don't talk. I can't even mess with you like that. But women will be like, well, you don't know about this. Shut up. You ain't in their house. Shut up. You gotta tell yourself anything. You know you girl.
That's
Now you know it's
desperation.
right because now you with the person.
That's desperation, especially if you sit there, somebody making up a whole different life, and you know it's a lie, and you just sit there quiet, you like it's the truth. And a cosign, you didn't even know the motherfucker
And
when he
tell
making
you
up
the
the lie.
truth.
You didn't even know him when he was 17. But you be like, yeah, you did do that. No, huh? And you know me, I busted out that did not happen. I don't remember that. That's not the truth.
How can
But
you play
people are
with
so
Jimmy?
desperate.
How can you play with Jimi
Londa,
Hendrix
okay, no.
and you were not even born, or maybe you was 5 when the man died? Stop it. It's the blatant lies for me. Shit. I'm so sick of people lying all day. Stop lying.
Yeah, she's Kavisha said, yeah, don't tell me the wrong she did without telling me what you did. Yeah, they good for that. They
So I
good for
don't
that.
know. These relationships, it's just these relationships, man. It's just in our community, we got to figure out how to have these conversations about relationships. We talked about fathers and daughters. We talked about mothers and sons. I don't know. I do think there need to be a class that black mothers go to when they have black sons to learn. Some of us need to learn how to pull the hell back and what how do you have a relationship with your son where it doesn't cross the border of this person being your mate?
Hmm. And I think that's a direct link from most of the mothers like that didn't have a man of their own. It's usually when there's a man present in the mom's life and she has a good husband or a mate, she ain't so attached like that because the daddy be like, let that boy grow up, leave him, let him do this. When usually when them women don't have good mate or they married and the man is a fucking bummer or slouch or some shit. But usually those are mothers who never had a good mate, and so they try to create a good mate in their children, and then they have detachment issues. You're competing with the new wife. Are you competing with his love interest? And they never can even get to wife status because you up their ass like you're his woman. I need some popcorn. Look, Londa is
Oh
crazy,
Lord,
Tasha.
did you hear this shit
Um,
right here?
that's a red flag to sit up and talk bad about the next day lying their ass off. Absolutely. That's it,
That's
yeah.
my rule.
Because
You
you
can't
already
talk
trying to
about your
paint
ex
a
to
picture
me.
as to why you have an ex. See,
Yeah.
most men they want to paint a picture as to why an ex is never their fucking fault. It's never the man. I don't even I don't know no man to be like I cheated, I had a side baby, I wasn't good. It's always the woman's fault when the man bring that shit up. For real, Tasha, because Londa is something is wrong with her, Tasha.
You
Like
have to think
seriously,
the lying, like the
Londa is
lying,
hilarious.
like and it be blatant lies. Um, Fidel Castro called you so I can get in
Uh
the Cuba.
uh
Why would Fidel call you? Why? The man's running the whole country. Why? Don't. And my other thing is, do not put me in your lie. Don't lie and tell somebody you travel with me. Never happened. Do not lie on me. My life is my life. You could go. My
My
dad,
life,
let me
my
tell you
life,
something. My
my life,
dad was
my
a
life.
lot of things. My dad said one time, you lie to people you don't know. You don't lie to people who know you and who was there. You don't do that. You don't pull them into your fake reality.
Tasha, yes, Fidel Castro. Fidel
Yes.
Castro, Tasha.
Yes.
Kavisha said it's always the woman's fault.
Yeah.
Damn shame.
And I'm gonna tell you
Look
this.
at Londa.
I think women, yeah, I can't take yes, yes, Fidel, yes. This man up here running man, he ain't got time to be calling you over here in Elk Grove.
I don't even know you.
He don't know you. I don't even know this man. Stop with the lying. Just stop it, dude. Like shit. Them diabetes is real. You need some insulin. Like for real, calm that shit down. You need some truth serum. That don't make no goddamn sense. See, the other thing is, ladies, I hate to say this though, if there is something about penis that have women doing real stupid shit. Like for real, like we talk about the power of the P. I'm talking about the power of the D. Because some of this stuff it has to be that. The person don't have much of anything. The one thing most black men have that people love, white women love it too. Everybody love chocolate. But god damn, you gonna put up with diabetes?
I can't. Good probably gonna
Y'all,
make a chick go
me and my
crazy.
sister be
It sure
laughing
will.
so hard sometimes. Me and
On the
Khadijah be
ground, not
falling on the
insulin.
floor. We'll leave a person and be in the car crying. Like this don't make no sense. And my thing is, I love my family, but I think if we gonna heal and be better human beings, please stop lying to people. We know, because I know you're gonna watch this video. You're lying. We know all the lies. Stop it. Save yourself. The Titanic ship is going down. There's a piece of wood drifting over. Get your ass on it and stop lying. Because we know you're lying. We don't think you're a hero. We don't think you're a superhero. We don't think that you went into somebody's house and saved the house from burning and you don't even like matches. Like, let's stop it. God damn. Can you read these comments? You know, me just y'all, we laugh because the shit is crazy. That's why
I'm
we laughing
sorry.
because people
I'm
really think we believe this bullshit. Like, dude, see, my thing is instead of saying, "Hey," see, this is another thing. I love my daddy dearly, but I remember he had an opportunity to acknowledge us and apologize, and he just couldn't do it. That's how I know this shit is real. Then we watched him on his deathbed. We got pictures, and we rallied around him because you know why? Because our mom was May. That's why we rallied around him when he was dying. It ain't because he was the great dad. It's because we loved our mom. And she's like, hey, that's your dad. And he's our father. But stop with the bullshit. It's okay to acknowledge that you fucked up and apologize. That's where the healing begins. Don't you want to be a better person before you die?
nope. Some
Shit, I
people
know
will
I
go
do.
through. Some people will die from diabetes, Londa. Not
They be lying
insulin.
on the
I'm
girl.
on the ground. Tasha, something I can't. I'm sorry. I had a little appetite.
Okay.
Not insulin. Keep going, sissy. Good pipe will make a chick go crazy. Keep going. I'm scared to even be in a relationship because I don't know who can be trusted. Girl, I'm over here weak. Tina, I had a whole laugh attack, y'all. I am sorry. And no, D is so good that I will allow the disrespect and hurt of a child. That's not a real woman. Show the hell ain't.
But you know, niggas be playing they chick. You know,
And then sometimes
don't want two women to talk to each other. Why? May they say something that they may know is true,
that part.
which is scary ass. Don't be scared. You done took down our
And
top
now
off.
the P gives you diabetes. I don't even know how to spell the disease. And that's good. We take it. We take it. You see, I read it exactly how you wrote it.
I'm
But
saying, how can
and
you take
sometimes
down
you
our
don't
top
even.
off, but you can't deal with a bunch of black women? Come on, player.
Oh, this.
Come on.
And sometimes women have to. Some women, especially the side chick, when they finally get it, it's hard to throw in the towel because then you look like an ass. So you don't even be getting no D no more. You just got to stay in the shit because it's egg on your face because you worked so hard to get a person that you just have to live through your misery because you be too embarrassed to say the shit ain't work or to say you see why the first wife got the fuck on. Just
Yes.
my opinion.
And my thing
Just
is,
my
why are you
opinion.
jealous? Apparently, all of y'all may have some things in common, believe it or not. There has to be a trait in there that the person liked about y'all. Because I'm not trying to be funny. There are little similarities. Because all of them had to have some kind of connection to even sleep with the dude. See, no matter how much you like somebody X, there's always a common thread to how y'all all ended up with this dude, even if it was for a month, 10 years, 25 years. There was a thread there. And
Mm-hmm.
usually men have a good game, or they have a good pipe, or they have good game and good pipe.
And make it a good night.
Yeah. And so
And
my thing is, do you imagine how better the world would be if women could be honest with each other?
mm-hmm.
Like you talk about culture. One of my cultures is when I go to my friend's house and her man home, I don't go in. I say, hey, I'll
Oh
be
hell
back.
yeah.
I'll be back. Not like I would do anything or he would, but it's just a respect thing.
It's
I
a
don't know
respect.
this damn
Yeah, it's
fool.
respect. It's disrespectful.
But that's the culture I come from.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, you can't be treating people's kids like shit, dude, because you know you got your own kids.
That you want folks to worship. Yep.
But hey, one day your arms may not go up no more.
Mm-hmm.
One day you may need that kid you was making fun of and talking bad about because maybe the baby showed up when you thought you was free and clear as the side chick to be the wife. Oops.
Mm.
Oops.
That's deep. That's
Oops.
deep.
Because that's what some of that come from, that meanness.
Your mama taught you better than that. Okay.
Yeah, the meanness. Sometimes you thought it was free and clear from you going from the side chick to the main chick, and then that person decided to take a break on your side chick ass and had a baby.
Mm.
They don't tell y'all that part of the story.
Respect goes a long way. Yeah, and it's a road that's less traveled.
Yeah.
I can tell you that, Kavisha. The respect is down in the black community, and that's on all fronts. Respect is down. It's a
And,
road less traveled.
and I think we got to stop lying and act like we all want to share our man. There's two things
I
I don't
don't.
share. I don't share my underwear and I don't share my man. Everything
Mhm.
else I don't really care. I share money, food, clothing, everything you can think of. But I do not share my underwear and I do not share men.
That
But
part.
somehow some women are convinced because they think it's African culture for you to have more than one wife. Y'all better go ahead with that. Yeah, everybody has to be in agreement with that. Not with this big head Negro one. No. This dude could barely probably get the wax out his damn ear because he lies so much. But we didn't all agree to that. That's a lie. That's not African culture. That's like all black people don't eat pork. Like y'all act like, oh, it's black people. No, that ain't black.
And it
Calling
seemed
your
like it's
mama
also
a
part
huh?
of it's all. It seemed like now it's also a part of the African culture to be black, to be deep and conscious, and have multiple children, but no lifelong connection. Never marry the mother. Never marry. You have multiple children's
What I
mothers of their child,
what
and
I
they
need with a
real
white
deep
man's
and
piece of paper?
conscious. Yep.
What I need with a white man's piece of paper? Then don't you
Hmm.
spend none of his goddamn money. How about that? Because that's his
Same
too.
thing. Yep.
That's his
I
too.
see it's a common thing to just be deep and multiply with no real plan and no connection.
And I'm
Yep.
just being silly when I say that, but I do hear conscious Negroes saying, why should I get married? It's a white man's piece of paper. So is the green dollar.
Hmm.
That's a piece of paper. You better
Yep.
not be using it. The fuck? My great great grandmother, born in 1817, died in 1920. The first thing her and her husband did was got married. Straight out of
Hmm.
slavery. I got they marriage license. So don't you tell me. That shows commitment. You can't take 5 minutes out of making 20 children to go down and register and get married.
Some men don't even want to go on the child's birth certificate because they know there's going to be some responsibility attached.
Oh,
And
this
I
shit is
think that
crazy.
shit is crazy. I know it's my child. I ain't got to go on there. I've heard it all in these deep African centered structures and groups. This shit is crazy.
We just
They
got to
be they
stop
be
making up
consciously, yeah.
excuses.
I don't, yeah.
I'm so tired of deep women being deep, but then don't even know how to talk to people.
Hmm.
Wanna have safe spaces, but don't want to go to nobody else's shit. So I'm not going to your shit.
That part. Or they want to bring the Bible into it, talking about all the wives women had back and then. Now, bro, we don't get down like that anymore. Straight up. And those men were carpenters and out working the field. You won't even talk. You won't do shit. Like you want to
You
have
know what they
multiple
were
women
carpenters?
and no
I
no
can't
no
stand you,
jobs
Khadijah.
or no. I'm being honest though. Like they want to have all the luxuries of all the women, but not. Can you support every like the Muslim? We was Muslim. You know, he could have as many wives as you can afford.
Forward.
Keyword. And I had one brother tell me, remember, like you messed up, like making your second wife. I would never be a second wife.
Yeah.
I practice the word. I don't practice that part of Islam. I pick and choose that shit. I don't practice.
People
I
have
could
to
never be second batter, bitch. I don't go
people
behind nobody. You
people
sound
have
crazy.
to agree. People have to agree. That's what y'all forget. Here's my truth. If there was a pimp and then he wanted to get some, say, hoes, they would have to agree to be a hoe.
Hmm.
If she don't want to be a hoe, then you cannot be her pimp. See, y'all all adults. Y'all forget that? It's free will. But you
Hmm.
can't gorilla pimp somebody and be like, I'm gonna be your pimp. And this is what we do in our culture. Who said that? I don't even know you.
Like,
Why would I agree to something like that? But that's what make people sometimes think something's got to be wrong with some of us up here for real.
it is. Y'all
But
think
here's
I'm
the
playing?
thing: we
Fuck
do
is
all
being
that,
psychosis.
but then when the police show up, our mannerism clear up because you know they'll hand you your head, and you like your head. You like your head a lot, so you're not gonna come out there and act crazy and talk shit because you'll never be seen again in the back of that cop car, hog tied. Y'all, what they say? Y'all killing me.
R. Kelly. I don't know the whole time nobody. Okay, so has anybody seen that R. Kelly
I'm sorry.
meme when he was in an interview
Uh,
with Gayle King? I don't know how the whole time nobody. But yeah, R. Kelly that nigga crazy. But anyway,
so
yeah, that
y'all,
was a lot to unpack.
yeah, that was a lot. And so I told Khadijah tonight we just gonna have to talk about black relationships, black family. As y'all are, getting older, have you sat down with younger members of your family and asked them how they felt about things that were happening in their life, especially now that they're grown?
Hmm.
How did they deal with some of the things we knew happened to them? Because we're family. Do it in a loving way, but I want to know
Hmm.
how they feel.
And it's eye opening
Uh,
when they feel comfortable enough to open up and really share their deepest, darkest inner thoughts because that was a heavy conversation.
yes, it was.
Um, and a lot of truths were revealed, a lot of mishaps and misunderstandings were cleared up. People needed clarity on both sides. And it was just a good ass, healthy conversation. I left feeling lighter, but then somewhat heavy because people is fucking crazy. I realized that somebody really has a mental health issue. And all jokes aside, I'm not even being funny. I know we be laughing. That to carry on lies for decades and to create shit, that is a mental illness. You know how I see
It
people
is.
right now walk down the street and they be like, I'm the king of England, I'm the queen of England. They be really believing the shit. this person believes a lot of these lies, y'all, and
Yeah.
it's scary. I'm afraid to see what would develop as this person continues to grow older. If God, graces them to be here. This mental health is real, and it was really traumatizing to this person's child.
Yes, it was.
You know, and so if anything that if I was able to bring any type of comfort or clarify anything. God knows my heart. It wasn't from my head because a lot of shit I just didn't say that I wanted to say. I was trying to give the correct version as a mature 49-year-old woman who I'm not going to say I had daddy issues. I just didn't give a fuck about him. And I didn't want no man that resembled any of his characteristics. So I was
Mm,
very selective on who I dated. That's why I can count on one hand the number of men I've been with, and I don't need all my fingers. We wasn't out serial dating, especially we was talking yesterday. We wasn't really dating all through high school.
we
We
really
was we was
wasn't.
focused on making sure we had to do what we had to do. When you say taking care of business, you know, of
Yep.
course I had friends that were sexually active. We had a girl graduating sixth grade that was pregnant. So it was out there, but it just wasn't. I didn't want anything that resembled any characteristic of my dad or the men that I knew. I just didn't. So that conversation was very enlightening for me.
Yes.
And I hope that helped her bring her some type of comfort or some type of closure. And I feel honored that she was willing to share that with us because that didn't have to share shit. So I thought that was deep. And my hats off to her mother, who
Yes.
withstood a whole lot and still supported the children. Never talked. Remind me of my mom. Never talked down on their dad or anything.
Never.
Always tried to make sure they stayed together, and kept in contact with their father. Always tried to foster a good relationship between her children and the father once they divorced. So my hats off to you, because like I said, you got early release and you free now, because that shit was like a prison. That was a mental prison. And I don't wish that on anybody. I don't want nobody to be an inmate in a mental prison, because that's something that never goes away. It's not, you never get released. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, sixth grade, belly big as hell. And I wasn't even thinking about no boys in no sixth grade at
Me
all.
either. Me either. Me either. That
Hmm.
is so true.
Yeah,
Gideon, you summed that up pretty good. Y'all know I'm sometimes I just get really pissed off because I feel like this shit has gone on for so long.
decades.
And I don't know what's gonna take for us to be honest in our conversations around our parents. They don't mean you don't love them. It just means you love them so much you're puzzled by some of the shit that's happened. Same thing. I don't know why people need to lie so much. I don't know why we prop up men even when we know they're a big ass fraud and phony and a big ass baby. Why do we take so much time to prop up men? Why do we care so much about their goddamn feelings, but they act like they ain't got to care about your feelings?
They'll
Why?
step on your feelings and crush
Yeah,
them.
why is that?
What is it?
You
Why is
know?
there a need to coddle grown men?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is it a need to make sure
Why
he's
is it
okay?
that sometimes we want the man to lead, but the woman's the better leader? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't he just be like, let me sit my ass down and be the best supporter I can be because maybe I can lead this part? Why? Why can't
Mm-hmm.
we be honest about it? That's all I'm saying. And you know what the crazy part is?
That's a hell of a
I've
word.
seen black women support their sons in being a woman, but will not support their daughters in being a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Or that she's
Yep.
grown to be a woman. I've seen that over and over again. I've seen women
Mm.
talk about, I don't like gender roles, but you're gonna support your son in what he think a gender role is and being a woman?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
how I know there's something wrong with us. That's how I know there's something clearly wrong. And this is my thing. I think you could be whoever you want to be, but you don't have the right to include me in your delusion.
Mm.
I don't think nobody should hurt you. I think you should go. If you want to be a goddamn lamp pole, I think you should do that. But please don't ask me to stand under the goddamn lamp pole. Because that's when the shit gets wrong. Like, dude, I don't want to fucking do that. I want you to go ahead and look here. You got enough supporting cast. But see, I think that is male supremacy.
I think
I
that
think
is
that is
attention seeking.
misogyny.
Men have to be noticed. Either you're gonna be noticed because you got a big dick. You want to be noticed because you got a lot of money. Want to noticed because you got a lot of kids. Want to be noticed because you now I'm dressing like a girl and got on nail polish and a skirt. Notice me now.
In the beard.
Men need a lot of. I'm so tired of seeing that. A lot of attention. They need more attention than a toddler. Some men need more attention and validation and hey, look at me. That's why people make up stories and lie. It's all for attention. It's for shock value. It's to make people think they really think your ass is batshit crazy because your lies don't make no sense. But in your eyes, you're being recognized. That's why the stories are so grandiose. It's never nothing like I helped somebody fix a flat tire. It's never nothing nice and notable. I helped somebody paint their house. It's like, I rescued a kidnapped child under the bunkers in New Zealand. It'd be like weird. It'd be like outlandish, grandiose lies. It's
Oh
nothing.
shit.
And and certain people have done things where you should share because it'd be interesting to hear about that are actually truth. But that mental illness and that psychosis jumps in, and
Like
I'm not no therapist. I'm just telling you, they make up outlandish lies where everybody in the room because
telling
they
it.
really scared of feelings. Everybody look at each other like, did y'all hear what the fuck? Did he say he was in the bunker in New Zealand and he went through 10 tunnels and it was snowing and then they had a gas leak and he found that he made a mask out of clay and put it over the person's face and it be
Wait a
some
minute.
crazy shit that
You
was on
mean
the
to tell me this dude was MacGyver?
but I'm saying, and I said that to say all of that is because they
Oh,
need attention. They want people
oh,
to think about them in a different way. They want people to
no.
compliment them,
You
big
know
up
what?
them, just to give them attention. Yeah, I'm not lying
Yeah.
because some people will cut off the truth to tell a lie.
Oh,
Somebody could be telling their authentic, true self. Like I just came back from Ghana and we went to a little village and here come my pictures. This person say, "Hey, I sponsored a school in Ghana. And I got a child over there. And
who's the
you know,
doctor?
yeah, they just take it big. And the president of Ghana brought me. He gave me his comb. Some stupid shit like y'all. I'm not lying, y'all. It's
Wait,
mental
but
illness,
you
and
know what?
people
A good
and certain
truth is
families, certain people be like, "How can you be around?" Because I really believe this person has a mental illness. So I don't take any of the liabilities at face
no,
value because I know it's a lie
Khadijah.
because I've known this person for a
You
very,
know,
very long time.
wait. You know what's exciting and truthful? That you tried out for 3 teams, but you didn't
Oh,
make it. But you tried out. We got that validated. Tell that story. But it
and
don't
that's
sound great
awesome.
because you didn't make it in your
But
head.
it's like a little engine that could. Some people have never tried out for anything. Just share
Right.
that great experience. It's okay.
It's
And I
okay.
just, if you say you had 3 kids, they'll say they had 33 kids. If you say you just hit the lotto for a million, they say I won a lotto in 97 and I had 20 million. If you say you just came off an African safari, they'll say they own a safari farm in Africa. If you just say, we just renewed our vows that in Paris, we renewing our vows at the top of the Eiffel Tower and Prince so and so. It's always a one up or a top. That's mental illness. I don't care what nobody say. That shit is a mental illness.
Oh shit. All right, Khadijah. I can't
So I
laugh
just
no
pray
more.
for them. I just
Oh,
pray for them, y'all. But we tried to leave on a light note, y'all. But we really got to talk about it and really be honest with our family about
shit.
just life and the way things may have happened and transpired in life. Continuing to lie or condoning falsehoods, it just
Yeah.
hurts everybody
It's
involved in the long
dangerous.
run.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, and it provides a lot of trauma to people, and it also waters down and weaken your offspring. When they don't hear the real truth, you fucking them up. You
Do
really
you
are
know
because
you can
they,
look,
huh?
do they understand you could take your phone and look up people's records and where they've been
In
and where they
two
live and where
seconds.
they that's all that's public record. The government really can't scratch you out like that, boo. I mean, unless you I don't know. That sounds like something out of a movie
And most of the time, it
called
is.
called Erased.
I'm sorry. I just when I see y'all in a few weeks and I
uh,
say Fidel Castro, y'all gonna have to give me grace because I can't take this.
we
Tasha, you know who the
we
fuck we talk
done.
about too. But
That's why she
yeah,
like, yeah, the shit is
girl,
crazy. Sometimes stuff
I
be
just
going on
say
and you thinking to yourself, this cannot be real. Like, why lie and
I
put
be
me
feeling
in
like I'm in a twilight zone. I be feeling like, am I in a dream? Is this a twilight zone? Am I in an alternate universe? Like, did I take I don't know. I don't
I
smoke crack or no shit, but did I take something like a bad aspirin or something? I be thinking I'm on an acid trip or some shit because the lies and the stuff it just never
I think
stop.
I think that at the end of the day, that all people want to be like this picture. There's a
Mhm.
family sitting down for dinner or lunch or I don't know.
Having
There's
a
a
meal.
person carving a turkey. There's fathers there laughing. You look like I'm here with grandpop and them, and look at my daddy and my mom, and they're all together. I think people want to do this, but I think what the person don't understand that we're talking about is that there's a lot of responsibility in that man clapping, cheering on his young grandson. That came out of his DNA.
Mm.
There's a lot. They have to go through a lot for her, this gray haired woman, to be with this man clapping. Because they don't like. I ain't saying their marriage was perfect, but that meant they had to go through a lot to be with each other. I'm not saying the husband and wife there, that life isn't perfect. I ain't saying the kids may not have heard them, complain about why you ain't asking for this water when my ass was standing up. I'm just saying it's the back. It's like you telling stories, trying to make yourself be like these two people. And we could tell this man here has never captured our chopper. We
Mhm.
could tell that this man has never, did all these made up things, but we still respect him. They still respect grandpa. They still respect dad. You know what I mean? And so you lying like this don't mean they're gonna respect you anymore. Because they know that you're lying. Go get help for your diabetes. Yeah. All right. We getting off of here, Khadijah. It's 7:32.
Oh God, help me, please. So y'all, we're gonna wrap this out. I had a laugh attack, y'all. I'm so sorry, but my sister is crazy. But y'all, yeah, just be honest and just be honest with. And this is my thing. I don't ask questions. I don't delve into it. But if I am asked the question and I have the correct answer, I'm going to say it. And I'm be honest with you. So don't expect me to enforce a lie. Don't expect me to back up a lie. I'm not gonna go digging. But if I am asked a direct question, I'm gonna tell my honest truth. That's it. And I hope you all will do the same. I hope y'all have a great week. Tasha, I can't wait to see you in a couple of weeks. And then I see you in a minute in person. But y'all be good to each other and don't forget, do something special for yourself on purpose because you deserve it.
And please tell the truth.